What's poppin', YouTuber? Welcome to my channel, Astro Finesse. It's your boy Lil Finesse Jiggy Hippie, back with another video for y'all. We right back to regular scheduled programming. And on this video, we're going to be talking about introduction to aspects in astrology. Now, before you watch this, understand that this is like moving a little deeper into understanding your birth chart. It's like adding a times 50x lens onto the magnifying glass, onto understanding who you are astrologically and energy-wise. So if you, by now, hopefully, if you're watching this video, you understand your energy, you understand the house system, how that works, you understand the planets. But, and I'll pause for the cause, if this is your first video, if you're a new subscriber, if you don't understand why it's so important, why you have to look at yourself, understand yourself, and to study yourself through astrology and numerology, if nobody puts you on as to why that's so important, if you have no idea about the way astrology works when it comes to the basics of it, don't worry, I got you. There's a couple of videos. I put the link in the description. You're going to have to watch them first to become hip to the knowledge of what I'm about to talk about right now. All right, so boom. Now that to the side, understand that we're going into aspects in astrology. Now, first of all, what are the aspects? What does aspects means? How does that work? Remember in my how to read a birth chart video when I was talking about all those lines in the middle of your birth chart? Aspects basically are like the relationships or how the planets when you were born, that screenshot, that snapshot of when you were born, how the planets were positioned, they correlate, they kind of aspect each other, they kind of emit energy, emit light to each other in a certain way that is either harmonious, which is a soft aspect, or not harmonious, what kind of makes you work harder, which is a hard aspect. Now we have five major aspects, five major aspects which I will talk about in this video, but we do have other minor aspects. That's digging even deeper. But for the sake of this being a beginner introduction video, I'm going to talk about the five major aspects. So understand that when it comes to learning about your aspects, this is very important to really putting the pieces together completely. So like in some of my videos, let's say you're watching Jupiter in the 4th house video, and I'm talking about how you're going to have an expansive family, or you come from a very abundant family life, and I'm saying all these things about the Jupiter in the 4th house energy, and you're watching it like, well, that doesn't relate to me. I don't understand that. That's not how my family life was. Understand that because of the aspecting of the other planets when it comes to that Jupiter in the 4th house energy will kind of play out differently in your lifetime, in your life. So that's why it's important. After you have done the basics, after you've understood your planets and the energy and the houses and all that, after you have done the basics, you move a step closer into understanding how the planets in your birth chart correlate to each other, aspect each other, are in relations to each other. Like I said, there's five major aspects. You have a conjunction, which is when two planets are together within 8 degrees. Conjunctions are when two planets are usually in the same house, are together within 8 degrees. Now, what does that mean? Depending on what planets it is, it could be a good or a bad thing. When I'm saying good or bad, or hard or soft, or negative and positive, understand that all astrology is not putting bad luck onto you. It's not making you scared like, oh, my life is gonna suck because I have this, I have squares, I have that. It kind of shows you the problem or the difficulty, and also gives you the solution at the same time. So when I say good or bad, don't take it literal like your life is gonna suck, you're a bad person, you're damaged, none of that. Understand that when it comes to astrology, like I said, it shows you your benefits, shows you your negatives, it shows you the problem, and it gives you the solution at the same exact time. Meaning you got to put energy and emphasis on trying to balance whatever energy it is. So like I said, conjunction, when two planets are together within 8 degrees of each other, that means they're conjunct. Those aspects can be positive if the two planets are in harmony with each other. Let's say it's like Venus and Jupiter. If you have Venus and Jupiter conjunct, you're gonna be attractive to everybody. You're gonna have like an abundant love life. You're gonna be attracting abundance into your life. And by the way, this is the introduction video. I'm gonna have a series on each aspect, breaking down each planet, how they correlate to each other. I'm gonna have like a squares series with Pluto and Saturn and everything. I'm gonna have a conjunction series, a sextile series, all that. So harmonious conjunctions, like I said, Venus and Jupiter, or we have malefic conjunctions or hard conjunctions, let's say like Moon and Pluto, or Saturn and Mercury. Things that two planets that don't get along, if they're conjunct, you will feel the effect a little more. But if it's not two malefic planets or two planets that do get along, you will feel the you will feel the effect, but it will be in a harmonious effect. So understand that if you have conjunction, look at what two planets are conjunct, and in my series, I'll get to it. I'll break it down what it means to have those two planets conjunct. And now the next aspect we have is sextiles. Now sextiles is when the planets are 60 degrees away from each other, or if the planets are in a different element but are in complementary or compatible elements. So let's say you have Aries. Aries is compatible with Gemini. Aries is compatible with Aquarius. So those are sextile to each other because air sign and fire signs are compatible. Another example of a sextile is Taurus will be compatible with Cancer. Taurus will be compatible with Pisces because Taurus being an earth sign, Pisces and Cancer being water signs, they are of compatible elements. So looking at sextiles in your chart, 60 degrees away from each other. And those are harmonious aspects. Sextile, look at the word sex. When you're having sex with someone, that means you're compatible with that person. Y'all working harmonious together. So in your chart, when you have a sextile in your chart, it's going to be like an easy, breezy type of harmonious aspect to the whatever planets are correlating within each other. Now when it comes to easy aspects, the more sextiles you have, the more trines you have, and I get to it. You might look at it and say, oh, I'm a lucky person, have all these trines and sextiles and all that. I don't have to do any work. Understand that sextiles and trines, sextiles kind of make it easy to makes the flow of energy easy. So it can make you lazy, as in you don't put a lot of energy, you don't put a lot of work. Sextiles and trines kind of make you not put more emphasis and trying to understand what's going on in that area of life because it's like a natural talent already. It's like a natural, you exhibit that energy naturally already. So you don't have to put too much energy in trying to express it. So if you're not careful when it comes to sextiles and trines, and I'll get to trines next, when it comes to sextiles and trines, if you're not careful, you could be like complacent because it's easy. There's no combativeness. There's no tug and pull. There's no friction. So it's like you can just move around life and not really exert energy or exert action to those two planets because it just kind of works harmoniously. So like I said, it can make you complacent and lazy if you're not careful, if you're not aware of how to use that to your advantage. So understanding what sextiles, what kind of planets, sextiles in your chart helps you to put energy to that, and you will see how harmoniously you make those planets work together. And now trines is when planets are in a sign of the same element. So let's say Aries will trine Leo, will trine Sagittarius. Let's say Gemini will trine Aquarius, will trine Libra. Signs that are in the same element, that's going to be 120 degrees away from each other. Now trines, similar to sextiles, except a little more emphasis on the good luck or a little more emphasis on the benefits of it, give you that boost of energy when it comes to harmony, when it comes to expressing yourself with whatever planets are in these trine. Let's say your sun is in Gemini and your Venus is in Aquarius. Your sun being your identity is trine your Venus in Aquarius. So those are working in harmony together in like perfect, complete, natural harmony together. Meaning who you identify yourself with and who you attract or who you're attracted to are correlating to each other in synchronicity kind of thing. So those aspects, trine and sextiles, like I said, are good, harmonious aspects. But if you're not careful, because there's no difficulty in it, because there's no obstacles put in your way, because it's like not a hard aspect or soft aspects, because it's not challenging, you can make you complacent and lazy in a way as you don't put action towards these kind of areas in life. And like I said, I'll have a series talking about trines and sextiles separately, and I'll tell you exactly what it means to have each planet trining or sextiling each other. And now, coming to the hard aspects, we have a square. And now a square is when two signs are aspecting each other within 90 degrees in your chart. They're going to be of the same modality or same type, which is understanding the mutable, cardinal, and the fixed. Those are modalities. So it will be the same modality, but different element. So let's say you have a Capricorn sun. The same modality of Capricorn is cardinal signs. So cardinal signs will be squaring that Capricorn, except for Cancer because it's opposite. So square Capricorn is going to be Aries because Capricorn is cardinal, Aries is cardinal, but they are within 90 degrees. They are within 90 degrees away from each other, so they're going to be squaring each other. Now, when it comes to squares, this is when it gets hard aspect. This is when it gets difficult. And the more squares you have in your chart, understand the more more challenges you will be facing in this lifetime. And I believe that when it comes to squares, they're going to be challenges and lessons that you didn't learn in your past life that you're carrying over in this life. So people that have a lot of squares in their chart are usually going to be of the old soul type, are going to be the type that feel like they've been here so long and they kind of have that old soul kind of mentality or aura around them. And that's why the universe is going to keep pushing you to keep putting challenges in your way to kind of force you to kind of learn through these challenges and through these obstacles. So squares are tough to overcome, but the benefit is if you understand what planets are squared in what house and what sign, if you understand where in your life energies are squaring each other, when you put emphasis on it, you can actually overcome these challenges and obstacles. But if you don't study astrology, if you don't study yourself, if you don't know anything about what squares are in your chart, you'll be going through life not really understanding the obstacles that are being thrown in your way, and you'll be looking at life like, why me? What's going on? You won't really have an understanding of self-awareness of why things are happening to you. But like I said, astrology gives you the problem, which is this squaring this, and the answer is put emphasis on this part in your life. Let's say you have your sun square Pluto. Let's say you have an Aquarius sun, and your Pluto is in Scorpio. Aquarius being a fixed sign, Scorpio being a fixed sign, two of the same modality but different elements. They're squaring each other. That means that your identity, when it comes to your sun being Aquarius, is in tug and pull, or they're squaring up with each other. These planets are not working in harmony with your Venus, which is going to be in Scorpio. So with that, you're going to have to understand that when it comes to your identity, who you identify yourself with, and when it comes to relationships, that power struggle and who you are as a person is going to always have that tug and pull. But when you put energy and emphasis on understanding that about yourself, understanding that, okay, when it comes to relationships, I kind of have a need to want to have all the power all the time, or there's going to be power dynamics. It's going to be that Venus and Pluto is going to be fighting each other. When you have an understanding of that in your chart, you can actually put emphasis on trying to change that or have a compromise, have a balance when it comes to things that are squaring in your chart. So squares are hard aspects. They are negative in a way because it puts challenges and obstacles in your way. But you already know when you overcome obstacles, when you overcome challenges, that's what makes you become stronger as a person. So knowing where squares are in your chart, having a lot of squares in your chart is not, you're not a damaged person, you're not a bad person. You're just like an old soul type person that had to learn a lot and you haven't learned your lesson yet in your past lives. So now you're coming back to actually learn and like the universe is pushing you even more to overcome these obstacles. But looking at your chart and knowing what obstacles you have to overcome helps you become a greater person in this lifetime. And the other hard aspect is oppositions. It's when planets are 180 degrees away from each other. So let's say you have a Gemini sun. Gemini sun is going to be opposing your Sagittarius Venus. Sagittarius and Gemini are opposites from each other. So exactly opposing each other are oppositions. So similar to North Node and South Node energy when it comes to that tug and pull of polarity, when you have oppositions of planets, that means that one is trying to dominate the other. So you're going to be in this lifetime pulling more towards one sign, pulling more towards one planet than the other if they're supposed to be working in harmony with each other. Let's say you have a Venus in Gemini and you have a Sun in Sagittarius. You're going to be pulling more towards one than the other instead of having that balance of harmony in a way. So oppositions and squares are negative, hard aspects, but they tell you exactly what area in your life you have to focus on more to understand that it's going to be difficult to carry it out if you don't put into action, if you don't put in the work. Squares and oppositions show you where you're supposed to put in the work, put in the action, put in the emphasis, put in the energy, trying to understand, try to compromise, trying to balance things out when it comes to these energies. And like I said, this is only an introduction video. My next series is going to be on Pluto squares. I'm going to start with squares and oppositions because those are the challenges. So my next video is going to be on Pluto squares. I'm going to talk about the different aspects when it comes to Pluto with your sun, your moon, your Venus, all that. So if you have subscribed to my channel, appreciate all y'all for real, you already know. If you like this hoodie I'm wearing, by the way, go check out Kevril on Instagram. I'm going to leave his link to his website in the description down below. He has a brand called Astro Apparel, so y'all check him out. And don't forget to drink your water, mind your business, and be safe out here. I'm going to see y'all in my next video. See y'all when I see y'all. Peace.